wizard.
Hi, I'm Everett Abrams, the Wizard of Wood, and today I want to talk to you about the future of wood and what's happened over the past 5 years and where we're going. So just a short, say 5 years ago or so, about 12% of all new decks were composite, and the manufacturers came out with different product lines where they were lower cost to try to combat that. And what happened is, as that happened, people started buying up some of those. People would pick that choice over wood, but wood was still much cheaper than a lot of the composites until that happened. So they kind of broke through that percentage, and we see that start to rise. Then what happens? Well, we all know. We had a pandemic, and during COVID, when people couldn't work and supply chains were falling apart, a lot of people were out there, working on their outdoor living space. They were building decks, and what else could they do? So what happens is, we're spending money to have somebody build the deck, like us. Anyway, so what happens is, as that happens, the demand increases, and we don't have the supply. So the supply, the issue becomes the wood price starts to go up, and the wood prices went through the roof. And we're talking, not double, like we're talking triple plus for the wood. So wood was also in the composites. A lot of them were about 50% wood and 50% recyclables. Well, even the composite companies and the engineered products, they don't want to pay for the wood at a higher price, and they sure don't want to pay for the trucking and so forth, and the issues that were coming up. So what happens is they change their material. So where it's like only 5%, or they've lowered the percentage of wood content, still called composite, and more recyclables. So as that's happened, prices change and so forth, and as we see the more manufacturers going with different product lines, from a lower to a higher tier, then we see so many people getting involved with the engineered products. So what does that all mean, and where am I going with this? Where I'm going is, this percentage now is more like 70%. So over the course of 5 years, we've gone from like a 12%, not changing much, 11, 12% even before that. Then it plateaus, and then some changes are made with manufacturer lines. We have the pandemic, we have supply issues, and now, with all that going on, the price of wood still high. People are saying, hey, why if I'm going to spend that on wood when I can build a composite deck? And they go to the composites, and 70% of those are new. Where is the wizard going with this? Okay, a couple things. One is, if you have a wood deck, or you have a wood structure, a cabin, wood-sided home, you got to restore that. You got to take care of it. I mean, it's going to be expensive for replacement. It's going to be expensive for repair. Are you going to change the wood out and put a composite deck? Maybe. Probably. Are you going to change out your wood siding? Not if you can help it. Then you're going to extend it much longer. If you had to re-side a new house, that's a big deal. So you want to take care of the wood. Some of the things you do and don't want to do. Restoration is big. You want the air to breathe, the wood to breathe. Try to keep those solid paints or solid stains off of them if you possibly can. Doesn't mean it's the worst thing in the world, especially on a vertical surface. On a deck, it really holds the moisture and will shorten the lifespan of it, especially when you do four sides, like on the balusters and the railing systems. So you want to be careful of that. However, when we start talking about the homes and so forth, it's really, really important to find a pro that knows how to work with wood. Not a knock on painters and other contractors and other trades, but a lot of them don't know how to work with wood as well as those that are very experienced with it. When it comes to sealing and staining wood, it's completely different procedure even than painting. So there is an art to it, and it is a niche type of thing. And if you have a wood structure, I don't care if it's a fence, if it's a deck, if it's your outdoor furniture, if it's your house siding, if it's a log cabin, you really want to do everything you can to extend the life. It has never been more important for restoration and maintenance of that wood surface so that you don't have to replace it sooner than later, because trust me, when you have to, it will be more expensive. Now, just taking the decking part of it, a deck you may have built for $25,000, 20 years ago, 10 years ago even, 10 years ago, might be $50,000 this year. It might be more. The prices of everything have gone up. It doesn't matter if we're staining things that were $30 a gallon or $70 a gallon now. Everybody knows with everything that's happened, labor is much more expensive. Companies have to charge you more because of these costs. Labor is one of the biggest costs when it comes to a service business. And then the products also have cost more. I mean, they've doubled and tripled in prices, whether it's from wood or composites and so forth, over what they were. So be expected to pay more. It used to be you save up some money, you build a deck, you get a few friends over, you build a deck. Now people end up taking loans out to build a deck in many cases. So anyway, it's changed as far as the scope of the industry and where we're going. It's really changed a lot over the past 5 years. The past 5 years changed more than 15 and 20 years before that. Some of the products that are out there today, whether it's composite or it's the coatings that take care of wood, are phenomenal. There's been a lot of advancements in these products. So it really, really is important to make sure that you pick the right product for you. And you can get that. If you're going with a deck builder, or you're going somebody that's going to either build or rebuild your structure, it's very important to have somebody who's very knowledgeable, one, of the product that they're using, whether it's manufacturer line or whatnot, but also how you're going to use it. I mean, do you like to sit out there with your pets? Is the product going to be too hot? Does it scratch easy? Does it fade easy? What's the guarantee? Is it slippery? Is it going to be around the pool? Will the chlorine from the pool affect the coating or the composite itself? Because there's restrictions on what you can do that could void a guarantee on the composite engineered products. So it's really important for the person doing this to let you know about the use and direct you, and also the maintenance, cleanup, and upkeep, because you sure don't want to void a warranty by using the wrong products. A lot of them you can't use bleach because it voids the warranty, but a lot of us use soap and bleach to clean a lot of stuff. So we're going to be careful, and that could affect your coating on your composite decking and so forth. So at the end of the day, these are big decisions. They're bigger decisions than they used to be. When you build a deck or you restore your home, your wood home, we're talking thousands and thousands of dollars. And it's a big decision. You want to trust the person you're working with. You want to trust the company. You want to trust the wizard. You want to trust the people that are actually doing the work, how knowledgeable they are, and you'll be able to find that out. And don't just trust anybody with it. And if something doesn't sound right, I always say it probably doesn't sound right, it isn't right. If something sounds right, it probably is. So if you think that you have a question about it, talk to either other contractors, talk to the manufacturers themselves, or even go on a manufacturer's websites. And if you go for like composites and that kind of stuff, you'll have cleaning and maintenance recommendations on there so you don't void a warranty. And if that contradicts something your contractor told you, well, that obviously cancels them out. So a lot to take in this video. The purpose of the video is to get you to think about all that's going on in the industry today. Nobody loves sitting out on a deck and enjoying their free time and spare time as much as the wizard does. I just love sitting out on my deck and hanging out. And everybody else does too. So these are big decisions. You're going to spend a lot of time there. More people spend more in their outdoor living space than they ever did before. So it's really, really important to make sure that you're making the right decisions and that you're taking proper care of your cleaning, your maintenance, and extending the life of whatever structure you have. So any questions about this kind of stuff, feel free to message me in the comments. Feel free to call us on our toll-free line, which is 866-440-DECK. That's 3325. 866-440-DECK. You can also check us out on our websites and check us out on many of our social media platforms. So I'm Everett Abrams, the Wizard of Wood. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this and check out the other videos. Thank you.